Yo, have you guys been watching CBS News? uh they it seems that they've gone right. Like they just went from left-wing news to right-wing pretty damn hard. I mean, we can start with the first oh shoot, oops. Congress CBS News Congress launches investigation into California hospice fraud, citing millions in tax dollar losses. CBS released this. Oh, Mercedes. Nick Shirley replied to this. Mercedes and BMW sales in LA are about to go down. Yeah. I mean, CBS is they're switching sides. This is an act of betrayal. Oh boy. I wonder what are the people those left wing people's opinion is about this. Maybe they're just being brainwashed and they're gonna become right wing as well, right? Because they don't really listen to they don't really think deeply about anything. They just listen to whatever news source tell them, and then they let the news source determine their personality and their process of thought. Holy crap.
I'm just getting to JFK now. It's a little after 5:30 a.m. and I can already see the line from the entrance.
Because this is about the TSA.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start it.
So the sentiment about TSA is that if I had to guess, right, people are against the government. I mean, against conservative. They said that the government shutdown is the result of TSA not working, and it's conservatives' fault for causing this problem at the TSA.
Timer. Let's see how this goes. You have to wait in a line that goes all through the general check-in area.
Oh my god.
How long do you think the line's gonna be today?
I think like 2.5, 3 hours. I don't think it's bad. I think there's a lot of fear mongering going on. Like it's terrible, but it's not like I don't think I'm gonna miss my 9.
You got pretty eyelashes.
Yeah. 6 a.m. right now.
It's been about 30 minutes now, and we're just getting through the part of the line that went through the general check-in area, which brings us to this line. How do the lines compare to what you expected?
They're more or less about the same as I have watched on television. You know, you have to make time. There's no other way.
It's now been an hour. It's 6:45 a.m. and they just finally scanned my boarding pass.
It's been a little chaotic, to say the least.
Do you think you're gonna make your flight?
We're gonna manifest it. I'm hoping.
It's now after 7 a.m. It's been a little over an hour and a half, and we can see the sun rising outside, which is exciting. And what's even more exciting is that we are in the final lap.
Damn, that's pretty bad.
Closer to the actual security checkpoint. The actual security checkpoint. I just made it through security after an hour and 47 minutes. Overall, it was chaotic, but not so horrible. I thought the line was going to be longer, maybe closer to 3 hours. A TSA agent told me that 2 checkpoints were closed, and usually this whole line would have taken under an hour. What was it like traveling with kids
Oh,
today?
well, actually, that's not that bad. It obviously had an effect. Okay, well, this is a pretty fair situation, right? It's reasonable. Since the shutdown began, federal officials said more than 400 TSA officers resigned in response to the growing number of call-outs from TSA officer. President Trump deployed ICE agents to more than a dozen U.S. airports on Monday. Oh, okay. So, I think that's good news, right? Positive news for right wing. It sounds like it. It sounds like CBS is switching sides. President Trump calls mail-in voting mail-in cheating. He just cast his ballot by mail. Oh, okay. Well, this is negative news, but it's not that bad. Who doesn't love Elvis? President Trump toured Elvis Presley Graceland home and signed a replica guitar on Monday while he was in town. Trump was visiting Tennessee for... Okay, I think I can tell what's gonna happen. Oh wow, there's like no response. There's barely any impression or click-through rates for these posts. Oh my gosh, maybe that's why CBS is switching sides. They're changing, they're pivoting strategies, because they're losing viewership. They have like 9 million followers and they only got 19 comments. Oh yeah, I could imagine the comments on left-wing people, right? or the right wing people, they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. This guy is for right. Yeah, this guy is like signing on famous people stuff, but on for left people, right? They're thinking, oh, this guy supports a pedophile. There's no winning it, but researchers have discovered rare and new species. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, they're definitely trying to change their strategy, right? Because back then, they are very hard anti-right. They would just make fake news straight up. And I could see like how it has an effect on their channel. Like, dude, even a YouTuber has more response from the community than CBS. CBS is a multi-billion-dollar media company, and they got nothing. Ford recalls more than 200. Yeah. California government's Kevin Sitt appoint energy executive Alan Armstrong on Tuesday to replace newly confirmed DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen in the Senate. Okay, yeah, they. I think an Iranian missile slipped through Israeli defenses and slammed into a street of central Tel Aviv early Tuesday, blowing out the windows of an apartment building and leaving a hole in the road.
The Israeli police told us it's a miracle that no one was killed here and that only a few people were lightly injured.
Okay.
More than a dozen.
Lightly injured. Just think about the wording, right? They're starting to post like news that are favorable to right wing. Because like back then, this was the way they would work. Let's just hear the whole thing and I'll explain it.
The strike landed in this neighborhood at around 7:30 this morning local time. You can see the crater from this strike just behind me landed on a road and essentially took most of the face of that building right behind me clean off. The Israeli police told us it's a miracle that no one was killed here and that only a few people.
Yeah, it's a miracle that no one was killed.
Were lightly injured.
Lightly injured. Lightly.
More than
right, remember that.
Have been killed here in Israel during this war with Iran, and many people here are spending virtually every night in and out of bomb shelters, taking cover from Iranian strikes. Iran has launched hundreds of missiles at Israel during this war. Despite that, though, opinion polls in this country show that the vast majority of Israelis support this war against Iran. That is in stark contrast with the US.
Damn right they do.
Polls show that the majority of Americans do not support this war.
Okay. So I will talk about this part, like how CBS would used to post news like this. They would say that the bomb has landed in Israel and people were severely injured. It doesn't matter if it was light or severe. They would just post a worst possible outcome that will make right-wing people look bad. But she said they were slightly injured, which is okay, which means it's good for Donald Trump waging war against Iran. And she's talking about how people are alive, like no casualties from Israel. So again, that's like good news for right wing.
We're lightly.
And because like before they would say, oh, the casualties are severe, people are traumatized, people are scared, like words to garner sympathy from left-wing people and to words to make right-wing people look bad, right? But then so far they're just trying to they're using words that are benefiting to the right-wing people, which is crazy. I didn't thought that they would change sides like this. Because back then, like they would increase fear mongering, like, oh yeah, Israel is vulnerable, they're getting attacked by Iran and etc. But now she's talking about how people are taking shelter and it's effective against the Iranian missile attacks. Oh yeah, it's just about the TSA. Afghanistan's Taliban government announced that it released a U.S. national who had been detained since January 2025. Oh, look at that, good news, right? Back then, they just resort to fear-mongering, but now they're releasing good news, which is weird. Oh, here's one about Donald Trump. President Trump said Monday he is postponing his ultimatum to Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and delaying threatened strikes on country's power plants after what he described as productive talks with Iran. The Announcement surprised many in the Gulf, making a sharp shift in tone after days of escalating threats.
Facilities if the U.S. followed through on strikes.
So Donald Trump had been escalating this rhetoric, but at the same time, he'd also been signaling that he was looking for an off-ramp. And so today, when that ultimatum was supposed to expire, when that deadline was supposed to land, Donald Trump makes the announcement that he's extending it by 5 days and that he's having productive conversations with the Iranian regime. So it's a surprise in tone, right, to go 1 minute from talking about obliterating Iran's energy infrastructure to now talk about positive, productive conversations. This change in tone is what's remarkable more than anything. Especially
Well, I mean, it's not good or bad. I think it's pretty neutral. But that's amazing. Or you know what? Finally, CBS is posting legitimate news. They're not using emotional manipulation. They're not trying to induce fear mongering. They're just posting regular news, right? Because you could see like a channel that has fucking hell, a channel that has 9 million followers. Look at their interaction rate. Right? Their first post that was 1 minute. Okay, they're 3 minutes. They only have like 5 comments, like comments in the teens, like 50 comments. That's very little for a 9 million channel. Yeah, it's about a snake. But that yeah, I think they switched sides because then they're just getting cooked. And I think like people are starting to realize how the situation is all around the world.